Hey, thanks for tuning in. So the live call slash podcast you're about to watch is one of our weekly calls from our Discord where we go over all things Etsy. It's perfect for beginners, it's perfect for novices, and it's perfect for those who are advanced. We go over a lot of good strategies that you can use and reveal a lot of source. So guys, this is a good one. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
So team, what we want to go over tonight is we've got a few things on the agenda, right? So we want to talk about basically the current climate of how things are going, right, on Etsy. We want to talk about getting started in general because we know there seems to be a lot of fresh faces in here. You look at them.
Yeah, a lot of new people.
A lot of new people. So just to show our hands, just in the free chat, who started Etsy recently or who is a veteran in the space? So it's always interesting to know.
It is. We've noticed a lot lately that people in these calls, they come in to get the knowledge from here.
Yep.
And then they go out and utilise it, which is very nice.
Right, exactly.
People are speaking in the wrong chat. I've got the old chat up. Yeah, Cow's put in the link.
Good lad.
But from what people are saying in here, a lot of people are new.
Yeah.
Started recently, 28 days ago. And I can't think of a better time to start Etsy.
No, it got started getting popular around January, right? January, February. But I think in the last month or so, it's really started to take off.
Oh yeah, it's so easy at the minute. It really is easy. When we first got started, all of the common problems dropshippers on Etsy had were impossible to solve.
Right.
There was only very niche communities, very niche forums of, like you'd find a website and it was designed for people that would make wallets like themselves. And you'd go in there and you'd ask a problem and you just get banned. You just get kicked out of the forum.
Right.
And you were trying to salvage information from all these different forums to find the solutions, and it was impossible. And now it's so easy.
Yeah, I mean, we never had this big source of information, did we?
No.
Back when we started, it was just anarchy, like you say.
It was stressful, but fun. But very fun, because it's kind of like we were still seeing people on the platform drop shipping back then.
Yeah.
And we were like, how are they solving these problems? So we knew there were solutions to them, right? But it was so hard to get in contact with other sellers who were drop shipping. There wasn't any communities.
Right, exactly.
And that's why we had to figure it all out for ourselves, and that's why Etsy Mafia now exists.
I mean, how many people do we have in now? 4.5k or just shy of it?
4.48k.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the welcome channel and you can just see so many new people joining. And it's really great to see. It really is.
Yeah, so many people interested in it. And it's kind of nice because it's like the platform that you has been like the only thing you care about for so many years.
Yeah.
And it was so undervalued.
Right.
Like when we started, we were trying to get other people to dropship on the platform too, so we could have our own little community of friends and people we knew.
Right.
They all laughed at us. Everyone was laughing at us, saying, no, just do Shopify. And now here we are 3 years later.
Here we are.
Everyone wants to be on Etsy.
Exactly. And it's all over though, isn't it? It's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter especially in the money space. It's just people just doing Etsy, loving Etsy.
Yeah.
Right, so guys, what we'll do is we're going to talk for a little bit longer, but for anyone who's got any questions, drop them in free chat, and we'll go over them over time, right?
Yeah, we'll get through.
We'll get through them. Let's go through chat. So, Jewel in the Cut said he started 3 weeks ago. Jamal's new. LMA started Feb, and these are like guys that I see in the chat asking questions, which is nice.
Just on a side note, when you ask questions in the chat, everyone tries to do their best to answer them.
Yeah.
But you've got to realise, like, us and the team work. The Discord isn't our main thing.
No.
We have all our Etsy stores and our management agency and whatnot. And it's hard to answer questions on time, especially in the normal chat. We do our best. There was someone earlier who complained that someone hadn't answered their question after 30 minutes and they left. And it's like, just chill. You know, your question will get answered, but just, people have lives, right?
Exactly. And especially the free value that's offered here is just insane. Like, when we started this server, the free resource section was, what, like 5 channels? Maybe?
Yeah.
It was tiny.
It was.
It's absolutely tiny. And I don't want to click anything and screw it up. But how many do we have now? A lot.
We have a little well, we have a whole EMA section,
Right.
which I want to talk about shortly. Because personally, I think that is the second best business model there ever is.
Absolutely.
So we have the whole EMA section, and in free resources we have 17 free
17
resources.
channels. That's
Plus-
crazy.
Plus all our YouTube content.
Well, that's it, because these videos aren't just little crappy videos. They're full, fleshed out videos with full information.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm starting to see some questions in the chat. So, Baybars said, it's been a month and I only got my first order a week ago and then no orders after that. I'm listing products every day. My question is, do you think I should continue listing products from this niche or change the niche and remove the old niche product? That's the age-old question, and it's incredibly difficult to offer advice on something when we don't know what the store is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could have a banging niche, but you could just be listing products in the wrong way. You couldn't have the right SEO,
Mm-hmm.
bad photos, no trust factor, anything like that.
Yeah.
So the question I'd challenge you to think about is, okay, does this look like a legitimate store? Does it look shady, like a Chinese store?
Yeah.
You know, are the products, can you buy the products anywhere, or are they unique and special, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, Jewel in the Cut, is that who? Yeah. I know. Jewel in the Cut says you guys aren't worried about spreading the word and oversaturating Etsy with dropshipping. The beauty is, if you are a bad Etsy dropshipper, you won't last long. So, the people that survive on Etsy provide a lot of value. And having them provide value means they have happy customers. Happy customers means repeat customers. Repeat customers will tell friends to join the platform. The platform will just grow. Everyone wins, in my opinion. You know, the more stores on Etsy, the more products there is, the more people are going and buying from Etsy. And guess what? They're going to be stuck in the Etsy ecosystem. The next time that they want some dog posters, you know, they're going to go to Etsy. The next time they want a new bracelet, they go to Etsy.
Exactly.
And, you know, it just means our core stores and stores we run grow even further.
Yeah, it's a great time to be alive.
It is.
It is. That's interesting with the Etsy ecosystem, right? Because you build up your account and people get completely sucked in, just like with other ecosystems like Amazon, Apple, and so on. And because, like you said, Etsy has that instant trust factor.
Yeah.
That, like, with normal like Shopify dropshipping stores, you have to spend so much time adding all this nonsense to try and convince people that what you're doing is real and legitimate, and they're not gonna lose their money, and they're not gonna get scammed, and they've got to go through PayPal. But Etsy has that straight away.
Mm-hmm.
They have a system that they can trust, that if something goes wrong, they know it's gonna get fixed.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. So Jamal says, how do I start?
By going to the Start Here channel.
Someone be a champ and link that in chat.
I mean, I know that's what we want to talk about getting started on Etsy.
Right.
You know, in my opinion, the best thing for people to do now, especially with their first stores, is just browse Etsy. Try and work out hobbies, interests you have. Can you dive deep into that? Just kind of look and see what's around you and what's happening.
Yeah.
Go into rabbit holes on Etsy. Find new stores that are starting to do well. Why are those stores doing well? Can I sell products like that? How can I sell better? and go from there. Find out what's already doing well on the platform and do it better, especially on your first store. On the later stores, when you have a much deeper understanding of how you can kind of create demand for any product, you know, that's when you go into much more like that's when you try and change the game a bit.
Yeah.
But for your first store, when you're new, find what's already doing well and do it better.
Bye on. So Brian, he says, hi, does CJ Dropshipping work? Yeah, CJ Dropshipping is fine, reliable. Some people would argue it's better than AliExpress.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with it is it's the lack of products.
Yeah.
You know, Ali has everything from exactly what you expect to the things that really shouldn't be on there. It sneaks through the gaps. And CJ just has limitations, although it has its benefits, faster shipping time generally.
Mm-hmm.
Depends what niche you're in.
Yeah.
Depends what niche you're in.
There's an interesting question just a little bit down by some. He says, Jamie, is EMA like SMMA? Because I've been researching SMMA for a while. Yes and no. So EMA is Etsy Management Agency, and it's when you work with existing e-commerce brands who are either new to Etsy or not on Etsy at all, and you bring them to the platform and you use your knowledge to optimize their whole store, maintain and grow it, as well as providing the other services like arranging fulfillment, because obviously you want to work with businesses that fulfill in-house, so you need to get that all synced up, make sure things are sweet. You can do customer service for them, and you know, seasonal maintenance, like keeping an eye on holidays and whatnot, and tailoring their listings around what's going on, you know, Valentine's, Easter, Christmas, yada yada. So it is a very good business model. Not many people do it now, but as I've just said earlier, Etsy is growing, right? So a lot of businesses we speak to, they're kind of on the fence about getting on Etsy. It's kind of a time thing or a lack of knowledge. And then guess what? You can sweep in just in time and sign them. And that's a good pivot point, because we're currently looking to hire a few people from the Discord to help us with our Etsy Management Agency, because we're kind of scaling it like crazy. We're probably going to set up some sort of application process next week, and we're just arranging the logistics for that. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for guys who want to get a bit of experience in the more professional field, right? Instead of just running your own shop on Etsy.
There's a lot of room for growth in our management agency too. You know, there's a lot of progression that can be made.
Cool. So Jared says, my shipping times on my listings comes out as inaccurate and not sure how to fix.
Mm-hmm.
So the main culprit normally is processing days. That's what most people screw up on. Actually, that's a good question. What else could it be?
I'm trying to. What was the question?
About shipping times being inaccurate. Apart from processing days.
Business days.
Business days, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it only counts business days. Is this on Ali or Etsy?
It's on.
I'm trying to find the question.
Sorry, Etsy.
Yeah, so it'll be your business days. You know, so if you say 7 days, it's 7 business days, and then it adds on. You know, so it'd be 9. Etsy banning all dropshippers. Run while you can. No, they're not. They're really, really not. They are banning poor dropshippers. They are banning dropshippers who sell, you know, things that you shouldn't, things that copyright infringe or just look too bait.
Yeah, if you set up a store that is, you know, realistic and looks good and isn't bait, it's very, very, and you follow all the all the correct procedures and you've got good customer service and so on, the likelihood of actually getting banned is really, really low. Very, very, very low.
Yeah, because I mean, there's niches you can go in. You'll never get policy violations. You'll never get copyright violations. You know, so your listings are always staying up. Your listings are growing. You don't have to worry about your bestseller getting taken down. And people just don't seem to go into those listings. People seem to join the Discord and, you know, and say, "Ooh, I'm going to sell an anime T-shirt," and then they wonder why they get banned.
What do you expect?
And it's like, yeah, Crunchyroll are going to take you down, and then they relist it. And then guess what? They only sell other anime stuff, and they get nuked, and they're like, "What did I do wrong?" It's like, well, that's illegal.
Cool. LMA says, what tips do you have to acquire more views? I have about 60 listings, around 40 views daily, and 5 sales weekly. Do I just keep removing and replacing? Yeah. So if you've got 60 listings and you've been up for a while, I don't think you say how long you've been up for. But I mean, the best thing you can do is remove fluff, and when I say fluff, I mean go into your stats on your store, filter it by the last 7 or 14 days, and things that are getting 0 views.
Sorry about that.
The things that are getting less than 0 views. 0 views. That's what you want to get rid of, right? There's no point in having listings that are getting no traction. You know, low views, low favorites, no sales.
Yeah.
Unless they're new products and they've been up for like a week-ish, then there ain't no point. So we call it trimming the fat.
Yeah. A lot of people have been doing that, and they see a huge increase just by having better quality listings and listings that do well.
Yep.
You know, if Etsy sees customers are interested in the products you do, and the listings you have up, and it's a higher percentage across your listings, and guess what? You get pushed more.
That's it.
Look at that. Capo says he put my 14-year-old brother on Etsy 2 weeks ago. Hit his 200 plus day today.
It's that easy. It honestly is like a money printer.
Yeah.
Right now. Like, we give away so much source in free. Like, obviously we know we're not the only people that are teaching and do mentorship or whatever for Etsy Dropshipping. We know that. But you go to any of those other guys, they're charging you ridiculous amounts, giving nothing of value for free.
Yeah.
Jamie's got a whole YouTube channel. I've just made one. We have the whole Discord. We're giving pure source that can make you thousands and thousands and thousands a month for free.
But the beauty of it is we know we can give away tons of free resources, and it never jeopardizes our stores.
That's it.
You know, we have our core stores, and they're in a position that someone could clone the whole store tomorrow, and we would have a 0 impact. So it really has no effect on us.
That's it.
We just kind of enjoy creating it and helping people. Because as I said before, having Etsy grow means our stores grow.
Yep. And Etsy, as a company in general, they are constantly pushing new countries, and because of the way they work, obviously they have a set like budget, right, for marketing, because you've got on-platform traffic, but then you've also got wider scale traffic, off-site ads, and like the US and the UK, for example, of top countries. But I think was it France that's getting a big budget push? I can't remember. It was some European country, probably find it. But the more money Etsy puts into off-site ads, the more money that you make in those countries. So if you're selling globally,
wasn't it India?
No, India was one, but it was a European country. But anyway, the more money that Etsy spends on X country, that means the more sales you get organically.
Yeah. I mean, like Germany. Germans love shopping on Etsy. Like some of our stores, like Germany just overwhelms, you know, US customers and everywhere else. And soon, as it grows, it's as soon as other European countries and worldwide countries start having that mindset and that the culture Etsy, you know, has in that country, as soon as that spreads to these other countries, it's game. You know, because Germany is a great example of it took off. People started using it, and then they started telling their friends to use it, and then more and more people started using it inside Germany, and now it's a money printing in country on Etsy, and it's just going to have the same when it spreads.
That's it. Right, I just saw a question all the way down at the bottom that I want to address now. So, what percentage of Etsy sellers do you think are dropshippers? And that's Yaxian. What is it? Sorry.
A lot.
Well, it's a lot, but on the big scale of it, not a lot. Like it feels like a lot, and it feels like a lot because you understand what is a dropship listing, right? It's kind of easy once you're in the game to look at that and say that's probably dropshipped. Mm-hmm. But on the actual big scale of things, like the real big global scale, it's so low. It's so low, especially right now.
Yeah.
But I see that question get asked all the time. And a question on the backbone of what we were just saying, Rowan says, do you know where the majority of customers come from? Is it search, or is it more searching it up on Google and clicking on Etsy? I've always wondered this. Well, I mean, all you need to do is you need to look at your own stats and you'll see that it's mostly on platform. Like, I think Etsy has like 90 million active buyers or something a month. It's a ridiculous number. So, most people are already in the ecosystem, as we were talking about earlier. But a fair amount does come from offsite ads. Depends what you're selling. Depends if it's evergreen or if it's trending. If it's trending, some more will come from offsites. Mm-hmm. But if you're on an evergreen niche, I don't know exactly, but I'd say probably a good 90%. I think that's probably a fair estimate.
Shaq says, do you connect CJ Dropping so you can automatically fulfill, or do you fulfill manually? No, don't connect it. It's a great way to tell it to you dropshipping. Mm-hmm. Plus, when you're starting off, is it really that important for you to automate the 1 or 2 orders you get a day? And if you're getting more than 1 or 2 orders, use a private supplier. We have one in the Discord.
Yep.
But I see this a lot, and it's kind of...
It's a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's like laziness. It's... You want to make all this money on Etsy, but you have to put time and effort into it.
You got to do grunt work.
You do.
You've got to sit there with your back aching because you've got 50 orders to fulfill. Mm-hmm. You've got to think, oh my God, this is horrible. I hate doing this. Oh, yeah. But I'm here because I did all of this over a long period of time.
Yeah.
If you automate from the start, you're never going to appreciate what it truly takes to be successful.
No, and it doesn't take long to fulfill. When we first got started, I was fulfilling orders manually across 6-7 stores, waking up at 4 a.m. to get them all done, and then linked up with private suppliers, and it makes you appreciate that more.
It does. So Subbane says, what's your thought on POD? Started an Etsy shop just selling t-shirts that are currently popular. Made a few sales. What's your best advice to scale this type of shop to 5 figures and more? So POD can either be really, really good or really, 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 really bad. With POD, you really have to come up with something unique, and you have to, a lot of the time, work with graphic designers that can make unique products and unique logos or whatever. It's, unless it's already a trending idea, just having a piece of text on or a random photo on a t-shirt ain't gonna do it. And a lot of people start Etsy wanting to do POD because they are too lazy to find winning products, because it feels like a cheap cop out. And Spoogle will put it in chat if he's here and listening, that he's now absolutely killing it on Etsy, and he started off doing POD, and
he's just put don't do mugs,
and trust me, it was dire. I tore him apart on a live call.
Bless him.
But it's not the one. But if you already are making sales, fair enough, you've got proof of concept. But it's like, how long has that taken to happen? If it happened quite quick, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's like I see it a lot. People trying to do AI artwork now, and they're trying to spam out stores by creating really bad designs that AI have done.
Yeah.
And it's, it doesn't work. I saw a YouTube video, and it's like, yeah, okay, if you did AI art in like a micro niche, okay, you could do fairly well, first one to the market or whatnot. But the majority of the times, most people come in and they go, right, I'm going to do AI art of dogs.
Right.
And it's like, no, there's already big, leaders in that field on Etsy. And it's like, yeah, that's why you're not getting sales. Or I'm going to sell bracelets. And it's okay, you are now with all these millions of other results. You're not standing out.
No, but it's a good idea to use these things to your advantage where you can.
Yeah.
So it was some, I'm pretty sure some was the guy who actually showed it me. But like, there are AI tools that you can use to not do to the typical stuff that Jamie's talking about, but to enhance your listings themselves. So there's a TikTok, if you guys scroll up and see where some posted it, where it shows you how you can remove the background and create unique backgrounds for your images using AI, right? So that's a cool use of AI that could benefit you itself.
Yeah.
So, understanding the tools and how you can use them and how you cannot be the same as everyone else. Because, typically when you see everybody else doing something, that means you should run and do the opposite.
Yeah.
If you act like everyone else, you're going to end up like everyone else. So all these people saying on YouTube, do POD, blah, 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 digital products, they're all chatting out their arse and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, there's a saying of, when your shoe shiner tells you what stock to buy, it's probably best to sell it.
And that's it. Let's see.
There's been some good questions.
Cool. So Yaxine says, when did you guys start Etsy? Did you do anything before it? So we started Etsy probably about 3 years ago, right? And we did a lot of different stuff before it, some together, some separate, social media, digital marketing type stuff. We Shopify, we played around with Shopify, of course. But when we came across Etsy, we'd always been moderately successful at stuff we'd tried, but nothing ever really had that click, that, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah.
The whole internet money space. But Etsy was the first thing that we did that actually changed our life.
Yeah. It was wild. You hit the numbers that you dreamt about, you were hitting, and you're like, is this real?
It felt like fake money.
Yeah,
It didn't feel real.
You'd see one of your stores had a 10k day, and you were like, this can't be real.
Yes. Join Diamond and find out Bolivian Gringo. Absolutely.
We'll do a sale for Diamond after this call.
Yeah, we'll do a sale for the Diamond. We'll let it run until, what day is it today?
Friday.
So we'll run it until, let's say, Monday. Right, the big Spanish special.
Yeah.
And we'll because there's, we're very transparent, and I've said it on calls before, I say it in chat, that the resources in free are absolutely enough. But if you want the real sort, the stuff that is going to help you skip all the BS that you will have to figure out yourself, it's in Diamond. Because we had to sit for years and years and years figuring everything out, and Diamond is just, it's like the holy bible of Etsy.
It's kind of us putting a value on our time, right?
Right.
All of as Dud said, the years we have to spend doing it. It's kind of be an insult to yourself to give all those tricks and stuff away. I mean, if anyone is interested, I did just make a promo code Spain for 40% off Diamond. But again, we'll announce it later.
We'll do an announcement.
Yeah.
Cool. So Jute Farmer 11 says, do you think people should listen to Etsy YouTubers and their advice on starting Etsy? If it's me or Jamie, yes. Now, I don't watch a lot of Etsy YouTube. I don't think you do either.
Not really, no.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are some decent videos on there that people are actually trying to help. But a lot of it is just fake gurus that are trying to farm up that YouTube AdSense, and they're just trying to sell whatever product they're pushing. You know, they don't enjoy doing it just because it's hot, right?
Yeah.
And we saw this months ago. Not saying any names, not throwing any disrespect on anyone, but we saw a lot of people that were doing Shopify before or whatever they were doing switch over to Etsy purely and simply because it was hot. And we'd been doing this the whole time. So be very, very careful who you trust and what you listen to. You know, these big fancy YouTubers with these, you know, captions that throw in your face with sound effects and quick cuts and all this stuff that offer no actual value, and it's just entertainment.
Yeah.
If it's more entertainment than educational, then it's probably
BS.
I
I mean, what we try to do is go from start to finish and provide evidence and the whole thought process along the way. Yeah, it's a green screen.
Danny G.
It's a green screen. You know, like, we try and brain dump as we go. Like, normally it would be an internal thought process of during, like, the research phase. We would basically record what we do, which is why it's not fancy. Which is why there's not those quick cuts, which is not, because it would throw the whole game off. You know, if we can go from having nothing other than a couple Google searches, which I think I did on my last video.
Yeah.
You know, I found something from Google, and then I broke it down live, explaining the thought process, explaining the search process, how I did it, why I would do it, how I would go about scaling, how I would go about optimizing, you know, finding more products like it. And, you know, there's kind of no BS there. It's kind of just all as value as I can.
Yeah. No, that's it. That is it. The raw, uncensored truth.
Someone just said, wait, I don't know if he's talking about us. I didn't even know they knew each other IRL.
Who, the son? Or
Some.
Oh, some.
Me and you.
Oh. Fair
That's
enough.
funny.
That is funny. Let's see.
Yeah, to Joseph, did you answer Joseph C's question about the private supplier?
No.
So he says, do you have a reliable private supplier in Diamond? I'm getting 5+ orders a day, need a private supplier that doesn't take 4 days to ship out a product. Yeah, we do have a good supplier. He works with a lot of Diamond people. It's normally all done through SpooglePie. He's the one that kind of liaises and makes sure everything's smooth. So if you have any problems, he normally sorts it out. He makes sure you get set up efficiently. It's a very, very, very low entry barrier. It's just 5 orders in the last 7 days, and if you've got that, then you can start using him, and that's purely to not waste his time. You know, so, and you meet those entry requirements. So yeah, Joseph C, you can take advantage of him.
Cool. I just saw. Where was that question? It was a really good question.
So, well, whilst you find that, Cameron says, if I'm travelling, can I still fulfill orders and post listings from another country? Yes. Yeah, you know, you're not confined to one space with Etsy. You can
Your laptop.
work. Yeah, you can work from anywhere.
So, there were a few of the same question, basically saying how one can conduct product research, and I have a video on it. You probably do as well, on product research. Maybe someone can drop it in the chat from mine or Jamie's YouTube. But there's a free video that shows how we use Etsy itself to conduct product research. You know, because we're pretty big on there's no point reinventing the wheel with some things. Like, you don't need to be the first and the only person selling a product to make a shit ton of money. You can go on Etsy, see a product's doing well, you can take it, literally rip everything, follow the stuff that we say in Diamond to not get deactivated, or use some fancy AI tool, and then repackage the product as a better product, or just the same and undercut them, and you will make money. Providing, like, if they're making money, there's no reason that you can't. Obviously, if something is ridiculously oversaturated, then I would advise not doing so. But
that's definitely a good worry.
Cool. Doesn't Etsy flag your store if it's being used on different IPs? No. Etsy have a very intricate system and a very anal system for determining what they do and don't like. I'm not going to talk about it on live because we talk about it a lot in Diamond, and it is something that we spent a hell of a lot of time on figuring out. So it's not something I'm going to talk about, but all I will say is Etsy don't like it if you use like bad quality VPNs.
Yeah.
Right, and if you've got any technical knowledge, you'll understand why that is. But I would personally avoid using things like public Wi-Fi or low quality VPNs that are associated with torrenting or adult content.
Shady shit.
Anything naughty, just avoid it, my friends. Big Capo, 3 listings done since the start of the call. That's what we'd like to see. All right, Danny G. Hope you guys are enjoying your time in Spain. Looking very healthy. Thank you, brother. How many sales a day and how much profit a month should you be making to outsource the workload so you can focus on running multiple stores? That's a very good question. So, sales-wise, I mean, it depends on what kind of products you're selling. I know what you're selling because we've spoken in the past. So, in your particular situation, I think, like 10 sales consistently every single day and above is a very solid amount. And the first things that you want to outsource is the fulfillment, I'd say. Make sure you've got the private supply. I don't know if you have in particular.
No.
That's important. CS wise, I mean, if you have a solid customer flow from the start to the finish, like we talked about in Diamond, then the customer service is very, very minimal. You shouldn't be getting customers message you constantly unless it's a Karen, right? And you shouldn't be triggering people that much.
No.
So, customer service is something that you outsource eventually, like we outsource everything. But I'd suggest keeping the research and the listing creation in-house to yourself so you can give it the full love and attention.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
No, it's just, get the fulfillment out the way, and when you use a private supplier, you have less customer-based problems anyway. Most of the times the questions people ask is, where's my delivery? Why isn't it here yet? You work with a private supplier, get it quick. You have your customer service flow, as Dud says, and the only questions you're really going to be getting then is, hey, can I wrong size, or damaged parcel, or inquiries about a product before they're buying it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No, that's.
But some says, do you think Etsy dropshipping will last to the end of the year? It could all continue into like 2024. Do you ever think they will ever bring down dropshipping? So we spoke about that a lot in the past. For the past while, we've always heard rumours of Etsy. Oh, they're going to be stopping dropshipping. Dropshipping's not going to happen. That's going to happen. Oh, worry. We've heard that for years, right?
Right.
There's always been, rumbles of people talking about it, and if you have the right systems in place, I don't think they can ever truly stop you.
No.
Our private supply is very good. If they, China's blocked. Our private supplier can spoof the origin of a delivery. You say you're in the UK, it'll make it look like tracking is all from the UK. And use that AI tool, or order your products in yourself to take your own UGC. And then how are they going to touch you?
Yeah, and to add to that, because I saw a few people mention it as well on Twitter and stuff, in the Etsy space. Etsy just makes so much money from dropshippers. If they, because Etsy dropshippers are a very small percent of the platform, but they also make a lot of money because they have infinite stock, right? They make so many sales, and these huge stores, like 20k plus sales, that have been running for years and years and years, all run by the same guy, the same team. And for Etsy to cut that out, I know they're a big company, I know they make a lot of money, but it would hurt their revenue. And shareholders and the guys at the top, when they had the Q1 report, it was very important, because, and we talked about it back when this was happening, that it really meant something, because if it went down, it had some consequences, but if it went up, it had other consequences, both in different directions. So we're pretty confident that Etsy is here for the next few years. We don't see it. It will get harder. It will definitely get harder, and there will be more going on, and there will be more restrictions in place. But as long as you're part of a community where everyone's on here, everyone's sharing, everyone wants to help each other, everyone wants to stay on, we always have found a solution. Because we've been kicked off so many times where we thought, not thought, but there was the fear of, oh my God, how are we going to get around this? Next week, figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're all in safe hands. Don't worry.
And that's the beauty. Like, the Etsy Mafia finds out about any upcoming problems, upcoming issues, any changes, like, instantly. Because a lot of these new features, they split test, so they put new features on, a low percentage of stores, but because of the size of Etsy Mafia, there's a good chance that every split test they do, a member of Etsy Mafia, it's experiencing it on one of their stores. Exactly. And then guess what? It gets put in the chat, and then the team look at it and go, okay, this is the issue they've now put. This is the security measure. Let's design a solution. Okay, now we get it on one of our stores. Then we go out. Okay, the solution works. Okay, it can be optimized in this way. It can be optimized in that way, and then a new resource is made on how to bypass.
Yeah. I mean, look how quickly we caught on and published free resources about AI. Right, that shit came out one day. It was a big rave. We had a resource for it literally like 2 days later. Exactly. That's the Explorer. If you know, you know. Cool. So moving on. So IOSC says, how many listings should I put maximum a day? It depends on what you've already achieved, depends on what your store's doing already. But I mean, I think 1 to 2 for new stores is pretty solid. The main thing with Etsy, it's all about event counters, and I'm not going to dive too much into this because it's quite complex. But 1 to 2 for the first week, and then slowly jack it up. But the most important thing is consistency. Etsy like consistency. That is all I will say. But
yeah. There's a lot more to that. In our audits, that is something I talk about a lot, and I give them the strategy to maximize the use of events on their stores.
Exactly.
And in a way that just... Sorry, I just got confused in the chat then.
That's okay. Let's see.
So Byrony says, guys, I'm new. Should I use private suppliers? No. Don't use it when you're new. Just use the CJ Dropshipping, AliExpress, whatever, until you find products that do well. Once you actually have products well, that's when you get a private supplier in the game. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and theirs. You're going to have to set up this whole SKU system and whatnot. And then, none of these products sell. Right, okay, I spent all that time doing this, and I wasted this private supplier's time, who's now pissed off at me and won't work with me in the future. Worry about private suppliers when you have products selling. And again, the private supplier in the diamond section, he has a very low barrier to entry. It's just 5 sales in the past 7 days, and if you get that, you can work with him.
Yep. Right, what we're going to do is, because we don't like to keep these for over an hour, we're going to pivot very quickly to like some mindset motivation stuff, because we know a lot of people like it. So if you've got any last minute questions, drop them in the chat and we'll finish up with them. But you know, there's always a lot of talk, especially if you're into Twitter, right? In the money space, the self-improvement space, whatever. And you know, the biggest thing that we always have found that has helped us stay consistent is, you know, you've never compare anything, and this is just like general life advice that I've learned. Never compare anything to how it was yesterday or the day before or the day before. You could have 15 sales yesterday and you might get 3 today and you might feel horrible, right? But you know, you look back, you know, a month ago, 6 months ago, and you hadn't even started Etsy. You're making no money.
Yeah.
And it's so important to have perspective with life and, you know, business in particular. Never, you know, appreciate what you've got. You know, appreciate the journey. Don't try and rush it. Because we were talking the other day about a story about an old dude who had been in business, nothing to do with Etsy, for, you know, his entire life. And there was a young man who was on the grind, trying to figure everything out, trying to become, you know, the next big thing, trying to make something of himself, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are. And, you know, he was speaking to the old dude, trying to get help, advice with everything. And he said to him, you have one thing that I don't have, and that's youth and time. And he would do anything to go back to the point where that young guy is and do the whole journey again. So the point is, don't try and rush things, okay? Things happen naturally and it will progress, but as long as you're consistent and you stick with it, and you know, you might have bad days, you might have good days, but as long as overall you're improving day after day and you stick with it, stick with one thing, don't jump around, you will have success.
Well, the issue with Etsy is the dopamine. It can be very easy just to stare at your dashboard all day and compare today to the day before. You know, I did £1,000 day yesterday. I've only done 600 today. Oh, that's an L.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, last week or a couple of weeks ago, your best day was a £200 day.
Right.
And it's like you're constantly setting these new levels where when you reach it once, that's the new standard. And it can be very easy to take it in a negative way and only see the negatives to that. Instead of it constantly going up, you're just looking at a short-term loss.
Not short-term loss. No, that's bang on. That's bang on. Just stay consistent, guys. Just stay consistent. Just keep at it. And, you know, no matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, if you stick at something forever, you know, for long enough, your break will happen. It may be ridiculously big, millions and millions, or it might be something else, but something will happen eventually. Yeah. Just, you know, no matter how big, no matter how small, it's going to happen.
Yeah. What was that? Central C, the rapper. You were saying about him. It's nothing to do with Etsy, right? But he was making music for years and years and years and years and years, and he thought, I'm not making any money from this. I'm gonna stop. And then he released that one song, Doja, and his life changed.
Doubter.
Just after years of hard work.
It changed everything. Now he's you know, one of the biggest rappers in the UK. So keep at it, team. Keep at it. Never stop.
No.
Right. Let's have a quick fire of questions, and then we're gonna call it a night, so you guys can get back to work. Let's see. So, Quick Koala says, how much you guys made from Etsy so far? I don't know. If we knew, it wouldn't be enough. A lot.
Yeah.
Joseph C says, if I get Diamond right now, when could I start giving orders to the private supplier? I mean, if you meet the start requirements basically straight away, you talk with Spoog on Skype, is it?
Yeah,
using Skype. You know,
you just need to set up a SKU system. There's a video in there on how to do it, and how to give the supplier everything, and it's boom.
Yup. is that it? Have we done it? When is the next diamond call? I think we're planning one for next Saturday, right? I think that's what we've got in our calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, next Saturday.
Did you set up that discount for multiple? Or did you screw up? Because Joseph C says, this guy...
Not just by using Spain.
The big Spain discount. Have a look at that kid. Jamie's nuking us.
No, it's working.
Yeah?
Mhm.
If it's not working, Joseph C, make a ticket, mate. Ooh, all the questions are coming in now.
That always happens.
Of course it does. How much is diamond? Normally it's £60 a month, £60. But for Spain, what have you set the discount at?
40.
40% discount code Spain. We'll do an announcement after the call. Can you share more info about your mentorship? Yeah, so, I mean, it's a shame Spoog's not here, because he could really sell it.
If Spoog, let us know if you're there. Spooglepipe runs our mentorship program. I think he's probably looking after the kids. But yeah, that's it. Go into the coaching channel, drop Spoog a message. He'll probably jump in a call with you to go over whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's the man behind that. There he is.
There he is. I think that's going to be a wrap, team.
Yeah, but someone says, how big shall I get my store before investing in diamond? That doesn't really matter.
No.
It's if you've kind of gone through all the free resources and your store's doing well, you can or you can't. If you don't want to, you can do it without. If you want extra help and common problem solving resources as well as growth strategies and everything else.
Yeah. We don't like to treat this as, we don't want to advertise Etsy as a get money quick scheme, because that's not what it is. But diamond accelerates growth because of the knowledge accumulated.
Yeah. Someone says, do you guys have a self-improvement channel? We have a lifestyle channel, which is kind of for that.
Well, yeah, we could probably do some more stuff with that.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do there.
We'll see what we can do. But guys, we're going to call it a night there. So we hope you've had a good week and hope you have a nice productive weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, it's been good fun. I hope you've seen the sun set slowly behind us.
It's been nice, ain't it?
Yeah, it's been a nice day here.
It's a good green screen.
Yeah, it's a great green screen. It's all fake.
Yeah.
All right, team. Lovely. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you soon, guys.
Take care. Bye bye.